The girl that he can't get over is usually the one that did him the worst. Like, don't let these men get online and play with you, right? When they be sitting up and talking about how women don't like nice guys, women always want bad boys. If you really dig into a lot of these men's past, the girl that they was the most crazy about, the one that they bended over backwards for, the one they did the most for, was the girl who treated them the worst.
Wait, hold on. Is this true? Do you guys actually agree with what this woman is saying? Now, we're going to get back into this video, but I want to ask you guys this question because to me, I think this is important. Do you like toxic women? Here's a better question. Do you prefer toxic women over good women? Comment your thoughts. Also, comment why. Now, I know I also have women who comment under these videos, so we'll add the question in, basically asking you guys the same question. Do you prefer toxic men over good men? Again, comment your thoughts under this video. Now, we're going to get back into this video because this is an important conversation. Before we do that, I'm gonna introduce myself. My name is Bertrand. I am the coolest dude on the planet, and I'm your friend. Confidence and clarity is the goal. So here we go.
The girl that he can't get over is usually the one that did him the worst. Like, don't let these men get online and play with you, right? When they be sitting up and talking about how women don't like nice guys, women always want bad boys. If you really dig into a lot of these men's past, the girl that they was the most crazy about, the one that they bended over backwards for, the one they did the most for, was the girl who treated them the worst.
Now, does she actually know why this is? See, she gonna have to tell the whole truth. There was a point in time where women had to rock their natural bodies. There was a point in time where the BBL did not exist. So we live in a different time. But you know what? Let's continue.
Right? She was uncontrollable. Right? She had his emotions all over the place. And she's the reason why right now he's emotionally unavailable, because he still ain't got over her. Right? But they'll sit up and play with you in your face and make it seem like you're the only one who like people that's not good for you. And then on top of that, they'll sit up and tell you all of these things that they want in a woman, all of these qualities that they want in a woman, and the woman that they still head over heels for, she was none of those things.
Here we go again. Now, I don't disagree fully with what she's saying, but I definitely disagree. For instance, when you first get a girlfriend, you thought you could save her. You know what? Let me let her finish. Hold on.
She was none of those things. They trying to convince themselves that that's the type of woman that they really want. But they actually like toxic women. And I'm going to warn y'all fellas, if you come in my comment section doing too much, I'm going to just block you, right? Because I don't expect a lot of y'all to tell the truth. Y'all are liars. Y'all don't tell the truth about anything, right? So if this don't apply, you better let it fly.
Now, this sounds like an amazingly feminine woman, right? Absolutely not. Now, I'm going to need her to do us all a favor and tell the truth. I know I kind of interrupted her throughout the video, but now let's really get into it. Let's really have this conversation. When it comes to a man actually being with a woman, being head over heels for a woman, falling for a woman, and then not being able to get over that heartbreak, the reason why that happens is because men love women for real. Men are actually the real romantics. We believe in our brains that we actually get a woman all to ourselves.
The ideal number of men to have in your rotation. No such thing as ideal number. The absolute wrong number would be 1. Okay, don't do that to yourself.
Over time, we realize, wait a minute, I have to share her with them, him, her. See, we have to now start asking questions like, do you actually like women? Because if that woman actually likes women, then she could possibly leave you for another woman. Once again, this is what it's like being in a relationship. Are you gonna ever get the entire truth? Now, when I'm talking about the entire truth, why is it hard for a man to get over a woman? Is it because she's toxic and he wants a toxic woman? He desires to have a toxic woman? Let me go ahead and speak for myself. If you guys disagree, please let me know in the comments. Enlighten me. Because in my head, I'm like, I don't want a toxic woman, but I remember being young and thinking to myself, oh, I can save her. Oh, I can change her. Oh, I can work with that. Hey, if she get me, if she get the kid, if she get your boy, if she get your boy, all that gonna change. She gonna change. She gonna do right. She gonna be right by me. Then you realize,
I don't think just being a good man is enough.
damn, this woman ain't right by no man. This woman ain't right by anything. I see why that guy did her a certain way. Now, when it comes to not being able to get over that woman, is because you invested so much into that woman. Again, there was a point in time where BBLs didn't exist, right? There was a point in time where social media didn't exist. Women had to walk outside and, yes, be in their natural bodies, whether it was saggy, whether it was fat, whether it was flabby, whether it was in shape and tight. She had to go outside with her real body, no extras. Now, there was a point in time where women would go and get fake breasts, right? And then they started to messing with the face. But that was rare. That was extremely rare. You know what else is rare? Is attractive women, attractive people, period. Yes, I'm saying attractive because just because a woman can put on a wig, makeup, get a BBL, get her teeth done, get her eyebrows tattooed on, get her eyelashes constantly put on, right? Yes, all of those things make a woman look way better than she would have in her natural state. But there are men who like women who look like that, right? The issue is the majority of women are doing things so we think like, oh, wait a minute, this is how this woman looks. I found treasure, right? Then disappointment. Oh my gosh, dang, she don't really look like that. For instance, if you like a mixed woman, her hair is going to show you that she's mixed. So you see a woman with wavy, curly hair, right? And you're like, oh, okay, this is my type. This is my one. And then she take that shit off and you like, disappointment. Then you see a woman like, oh, okay, look at the way that the breasts sit up. Look at the way that the booty bounces. Oh my gosh. And then she's naked and you see everything go, it just dropped to the ground and you like, disappointment. Then you look at her and you just so infatuated with the way that her face looks. You like, oh my gosh, this woman is so pretty. Look at her eyelashes and her eyebrows. Look at her face. Look at her skin. Look at how waxy it looks. Look at how shiny it looks. Oh my God. And then she washes her face and you like, is this woman sick? Disappointment. Again, men, do we like toxic women? I'm not gonna say all men don't like toxic women, but I'm also gonna say that there are some toxic men who make women toxic. Now, who are the guys that usually do that? It's usually the bad boys. For instance, women will leave what they look at as a square or a corny guy or a good guy for the bad boy.
But when I tell you guys that that's not my experience at all, like, it just wasn't. My ex was a great guy. Like, even after we broke up, still sending me flowers to my apartment. You know, like, just a great guy, but for somebody else.
Why do you think nice guys finish last?
I'm speaking from personal experience when I tell you we are not picking men because they're too nice.
What is it?
That man is ugly.
Not sure why she chose to leave that out or to make it seem like that doesn't exist, because it definitely does. Not sure why she chose to do that or say that, but it is what it is. Again, I don't disagree with everything she said, just most of it. For instance, when you are emotionally available with that woman, you realize that being emotionally available is terrible for a man. Why is it terrible? Because when your emotions are open and available for you to act upon, violence can happen. It's dangerous for everybody, because women at some point in time, they will show you At some point in time, women will show you their ass or they will break your heart. Now, once your heart is broken, but you were emotionally available, now it's dangerous for everyone because you don't know how he's going to respond. In fact, he doesn't know how he's going to respond. Most of the time, men respond with violence or anger. So this is why we see women who get restraining orders or stalkers or whatever. Now, thank God I haven't really had to deal with that, but I've seen it and I've heard about it a lot. When it comes to qualities that a man wants, he realizes, you know what, dang, I was literally settling for this woman. And men, we don't have the same issue with settling like a woman does. For instance, I was just having this conversation with an older woman and we were talking about Kevin Samuels and the high value, right? And I had to let her know, like, no, what you're talking about is not high value. What you're talking about is high moral, right? Like women, y'all want value because value, not only does it deal with the impact and the impact that it has on his life, but the others around him, but it also has to deal with his money. How many women do not want a man who has money?
I'm dating a broke guy and it really sucks because he has the best personality, hands down. I have so much fun with him, but it's like,
that sounds like a stupid question, right? So let's move the goalpost back to where women move it, which is once you have the money, now they're talking about your character as if it mattered, as if it matters when you don't have money. When you don't have money, it don't matter, right? Because they're into whatever it is that they're into. Another thing about qualities. You jump into a relationship with a woman, especially when you're young, because one, you haven't been in a relationship before, so you don't know what to expect. All you know is, this is my girl. I'm going to be the only one kissing her, hugging her, touching her, smiling at her, flirting with her. That's what happens when you've never had a girlfriend, right? So now when you've had a girlfriend, now you start to see, wait, hold on, I don't like that. I don't like when you talk to other dudes. I don't like when you dress like that. I don't like when you be hanging around them girls over there and, you know, they doing what they doing over there. They over there kissing all them boys in the corner. You know what I'm saying? They over there playing hide and go get it. I don't like that, right? So yeah, these are the qualities that this woman is talking about, but for some reason, she's leaving it out like it's not a factor. I'm not understanding why this is being said. If you dig into anybody's past, you're going to see the mistakes that they made because we're all human. The key is moving forward and figuring out what you want right now. You may have liked something in the past. That don't mean you like it today. There's plenty of people who may have loved pizza, but then they had so much pizza to where they like, man, I don't want pizza no more. I do not want pizza no more. Or they may have had one particular type of pizza. Now they like, you know what? Hold on. I gotta make sure I try some other pizzas. You know what I mean? I gotta see. Let me put chicken instead of pepperoni. Let me try pineapples instead of, you know, whatever. You know, let me create my own. Let me put my own toppings on this pizza. Let me try a barbecue chicken pizza, right? You start thinking of other things. Because I don't really like the onions. I don't really like that. Let me take that out. Here's a great example. I've talked to older women, and this has happened at least 3 or 4 times, where the woman really wants to get married now because her ex got married, right? Literally, her ex got married. Now she's putting pressure on me to try to get into a relationship with me because her ex is now engaged. I'm always asking, first of all, why do you know what's going on with your ex? Like, why are you still engaged in what your ex is actually doing? I'm not. I don't know what my exes are doing. I have no earthly clue. If I see them on social media every once in a while, I'm like, oh, okay, that's what she looked like now. Damn, that's what she looked like now. Whew, dodged a bullet, right? But again, when it comes to qualities, you figure out what you like along the way. It's not something that you know just off the top, just knowing. Now, some people do know, but then you start thinking like, man, do I want a masculine, mean ass woman, or do I want a feminine woman that just makes me feel masculine, right? Like that, like femininity is a power that women do not understand. Like when a woman is feminine, it does something to a masculine man. It is not the same when that woman is masculine. A masculine woman makes me more defensive, makes me kind of buck up, right? Like, hold on, what's going on here, right? Like, that's the response you get. Just like when a woman take her makeup off and you thought she was pretty. Now, if you're being honest, when she take that makeup off and you looking at her like, oh my God, like what the? Yeah, you want a woman that looks a certain way because you understand what you like, and it takes time for you to understand what you like, because you have to kind of go through things and see things and say, you know what, man, I don't like that. Do men intentionally want a woman that's uncontrollable? I don't think so. Let me ask you this question, right? Because this question makes more sense than the uncontrollable thing. Do you want a woman who knows how to give dome, or do you want a woman who does not know how to give dome? The reason I'm asking is because you receive two different experiences. Yeah, you may say, oh my gosh, wait, hold on, girl. Ooh, right? You may be ready to just all over her face, right? But then what about the other woman that doesn't know what she's doing, and all of a sudden you went from standing out of tension to limp, right? Like, which experience do you actually want? So I don't know. Some men will say, you know what? Hey, the woman that don't know what she doing, I can teach her, right? So again, it's a preference thing. Again, I'm not saying that she's 100% wrong. I'm just saying she's not telling the whole truth. Now, when it comes to the nice guys versus the good guys versus the bad boys, oh, she was completely wrong on that. The majority of women want the bad boy because of the image, because of the potential protection, because of the lifestyle, because of the fun. It's not boring. You're gonna be out doing things. It's exciting. It's dramaful. It's drama filled. It's going to be some traumatic moments. The traumatic moments is what make that woman decide she don't want to live that kind of life, because she was used as a human shield for bullets. Right? Like, she don't want to be a human shield. She don't want to have her life in danger. That's why she changed, or she switched the type of guy that she was with, or the type of guy that she likes. The corny guy, the good guy, he's looked at as boring. He may be boring. He may not have the money. He may not have the same ambition towards getting money, versus the young guy who's out there getting it however he has to get it, illegally, by the way. Just the fact that he has the money, it means he can go and do things. Again, men love harder than women. That's why it's hard for a man to get over a woman, because in his mind, he's invested in her financially and emotionally. And that means something different to every single man, right? You may not have invested $10,000 in a woman, or let's just say you invested $10,000 in a woman. Now, if you didn't have that $10,000 to start with and you invested $10,000, it hits you different if you had $1 million and you only invested $10,000. You only invested $10,000, you're way more willing to walk away from that situation because you have a whole lot of money left. But for the guy who doesn't have a lot of money, and the things that he is doing for that woman is just different. Again, I'm not saying that what she's saying is wrong. Some guys prefer toxic women. Yes, but those are usually the bad boys, the boys that they would say are not good for them. In fact, when they get older, when they become old, then they say that guy was no good for me. He constantly put my life in danger. He didn't really care about me. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. You're gonna hear all of that. But guess what? She has to get old for her to actually see that, recognize it, and decide to choose the different option. When it comes to not getting over someone, I think it's a good conversation to have. most people do not get over their first love, the majority. Now, I can tell you, men have a hard time getting over their first love. The majority of them. I always tell the story about going to that jazz festival, talking to a man who was in his 60s, and that man in his 60s left the relationship he was in to go be with his first love because she was paralyzed from the neck down, right? So when I tell that story because it was so memorable for me. And the only reason I got that story was because I was going through some heartbreak, and I was trying to figure out if I was the only man who was actually going through that type of heartbreak. So what I'm saying is, yeah, it's hard for a man to leave that first love or to get over that first love because the other women usually don't measure up. Now, if the woman does measure up, guess what? That first love gets thrown to the wayside. She gets thrown away. Trust and believe she does. But the majority of women today, they feel entitled. They feel they deserve. That's going to make you think about your first love. When you come across a woman like that, that's going to make you think about your first love. When you come across a woman and she say some old crazy stuff that you do not agree with, again, you may not have that argument or debate or conversation with her, but in your mind, you like, damn, my ex didn't do that, right? So yes, that comparison is going to always be there, just like women who get a whole bunch of bodies, right? The more bodies they rack up, they start comparing his size to his size, his stroke versus his stroke, the way he licked and kissed me versus the way you licked and kissed me. The comparisons are there. Yes, again, all I'm saying is tell the whole story. But I got a question for you. What do you think? Comment under this video. If you like the video, do me a huge favor and click the like button under this video. Also subscribe to the channel because I am posting content. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you on the next one. Peace.